We're calling it periods of not just thunderstorms, but periods of severe weather. And we will be here in the Dial for 12 Storm Vision Weather Center to give you the very latest on any warnings in the area. Can't stress enough what to do throughout these watches. Stay tuned to the latest weather information, and you can do that by logging on to WSFA.com. You can stay tuned right here. We'll be here throughout the afternoon. During wall-to-wall coverage, we'll also be with our partners Mix 103, and also we will also be at WSFA.com streaming live video as well. You can post pictures there at WSFA.com. You can check out the latest dismissals from schools. You can also check on those FIPS codes. That's for the weather radios that we have been promoting from the Publix. If you need to program your county in there, you can do so by logging on to WSFA.com. During warnings, take immediate action. And as we're talking about folks in Coffee County right now who are under a tornado warning until 12:45, stay away from doors and windows. Cover yourself to protect against flying debris. These are the plans of action you need to take immediately in Coffee County, and this is the plan of action you need to take if you are under a warning throughout the course of the rest of the afternoon. Now, again, we will be with you throughout the day today to give you the very latest. That's what's going on right now. We're going to finish up with 12 News at noon, but again, we are right here at a moment's notice to give you any more warnings in the area.
Cases of 60 miles per hour. Live weather coverage on WSFA 12 Montgomery and on WSFA.com. We are streaming on the World Wide Web, and also we are simulcasting with WSFA 12 Weather Plus. You can also hear us on the radio on 100,000 watt Mix 103.3 FM, our Cumulus radio partner here in Montgomery, if you were to lose power.
Let's talk to Mayor Bob Bunting, who is the mayor of Ozark, which has been under the gun also, the next-door neighbor, so to speak, of Enterprise. Mayor Bunting, first of all, thanks for taking time to talk to us. What's going on in your city right now, and did you get any damage?
Well, so far we're okay. We've had some, where the whole city's out of power right now.
There's virtually no communication down there. It's a real scary situation for folks, and we won't rest until we know what happened to those children in the high school.
Exactly. That's the fear of everyone, and that's why so many schools, it's a difficult call to make when this severe weather begins to roll our way, because as you all know, you've lived here many years, this is typical, unfortunately, for Southeast Alabama to go through this type of severe weather. But
we do have somebody on the phone from Enterprise. Is that correct, Bob and Kim?
Yes, it is, Rich. We have John Dean on the line again, who used to be a videographer here with us. John Dean is on the line. John, we understand you're actually at Enterprise High School. Tell us what you're seeing.
I tell you, it's pretty bad here. It's a multi-building facility, and most of the roofs aren't gone. There are a lot of cars upside down. None of the cars have windows in them. The neighbors or the streets right around the school, same situation. A lot of roofs missing. Everybody's car windows are blown out. It's pretty bad.
So now, what about the children? That's what everybody wants to know about, John. Have you heard anything about any injuries?
I have not. I know that they have set up a safe haven somewhere within this facility. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Seeing all the information we can right now from Enterprise. Mark Bullock is in the newsroom with some more for us. What do you have, Mark?
Kim and Bob, we just got off the phone with some reporters at the Enterprise Ledger with some disconcerting news, I guess you might say. They are reporting that there are injuries at Enterprise High School. Although because of some cell phone problems, as you can imagine in a storm like this, there are problems with both landlines and cell phones getting through. They don't know the extent of those injuries. At least the people at the newspaper building have not yet heard back from their reporters at the school the extent of those buildings, only that they, the extent of those injuries, only that they know that there apparently are some injuries at the school. The Ledger is also reiterating what John Dean told us earlier about the damage, telling us that there are cars turned over with their windows blown out, even school buses.
On the ground to confirm what's going on, but what we can tell you, if you're just joining us now, a tornado hit Enterprise, severe damage to downtown Enterprise, also damage to the high school, which is out going off the northeast side of town, and we understand that there are some injuries associated with the school there. We talked to John Dean, our friend who was on the ground. He saw at least one stretcher leaving the high school with what appeared to be a student on the stretcher.
Okay, we need to, I don't mean to interrupt you guys,
Go
but
ahead,
we have some storms that we really want to point out and talk about here on Doppler 12 Storm Vision and try to save some people's lives here. Let's take a look at some of these storms here.
Now, we'll have to keep our eye on the storm, but the warning, that's what's going on as far as warnings are concerned right now.
A new one, a new tornado warning, Rob, and this one is in Barber County, a new tornado warning in Barber County. And let's look at this. This includes the city of Eufaula. It's central Barber County. There's tornado warning in effect until 3 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado near Louisville, or 22 miles east of Troy, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. That'll put the tornado near Clayton by 2:45 and back in through Mississippi. So we have many hours, I'm afraid, to go. So we're balancing our coverage here by telling you what has happened already, and we are now going to tell you what is going on right now. And by that, Rob, let's go through some of the warnings. We have a tornado warning in effect for Barber County, and that's till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Rob's showing you all the warnings. In fact, that's the warning for 3 o'clock. Now, the other one here, out to the west, you can see the storm. Well, first of all, the one to the east is the storm that went through the Enterprise area and went through the heart of Coffee County and then went through into Henry County and is now into Clay County. That is still producing a possible tornado. That has been the nemesis, the bad storm this afternoon. All right, then you got the Barber County warning you're showing us now. What about this other warning here? We got Pike County till 3 o'clock. Go ahead. And southeast Montgomery County until 3 o'clock this afternoon. We have the Butler County tornado warning continuing in effect until 3 o'clock. And this other one of interest in Lowndes County until 3 o'clock. Rob, that one, if it continues to be a storm of interest, may affect the northern part of Montgomery County at some point.
Right. That one's going to miss the downtown area, or the city of Montgomery, I should say. However, the one looking back here with this hail marker looks like it could possibly clip the city of Montgomery.
Good point. Moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour, that one could have an effect. So, although the sirens are not specifically for this storm, we take every one of these storms today seriously, and any one of them could become a supercell. Any one of them could and can and sometimes will produce a tornado with little or no advance warning.
And I plotted this out on Storm Tracker here with Doppler 12 Storm Vision, where the hail was possibly spotted within the storm. It looks like these are some of the areas where this could be moving in the next 30 minutes or so. We've got Hope Hall at 3:30. We've got Southmont at 3:37, Lindale 3:39, and Montgomery at 3:40. So that's where this...
So far. Bob, Kim?
All right, Chris, thank you. We want to tell you right now, take a look at this. These are the first pictures in from Enterprise High School. Right then you saw a stretcher going by. There you see cars overturned. Absolutely, it is a disaster area, Bob.
That's the stadium out back, and you can see what looks like a air handler, heating and air conditioning, some people on the ground. The first reports we got from John Dean on the ground, they said that cars were upside down. You can see these kids, they've got to be in a panic right now when these pictures were made.
Roofs torn off all throughout the facility there, and as we had been told, we had heard that students were trapped. They were injured, that the neighborhood, as you can see there, surrounding had roofs torn off as well, cars overturned. Someone described this storm as huge and devastating, and you always wonder when you get those first descriptions, Bob, if people are overwhelmed. Obviously, they were right on target.
This is incredible. Probably one of the hallways, or perhaps near the gymnasium area. You can see the people that are still trying to literally clear a walkway for everyone to make it through. This sits on a little rise on a hill in Enterprise, surrounded mostly by pine trees. Pretty wide open space in there, and you can see one of the classrooms and all the debris. Obviously, a lot of roof damage. In some places, you're seeing the roof has actually collapsed. Sometimes it may have been blown away.
Someone on a stretcher there. We're told that the surrounding communities were called. Send everyone you have, all of your emergency personnel. We need help over here in Enterprise, and you can see why. Devastating pictures. And again, We apologize that we're not able to get in touch just yet with the officials, because you can see why. They're caught right smack in the middle of it right now to really hear how seriously injured these students or any teachers possibly were there at Enterprise High School.
And you notice one of the military helicopters there, one of the medevac helicopters from Fort Rucker. I'm sure that that's probably been the case. They've had some to come in to help evacuate. Hopefully, we're going to find out that we've got some kids with minor injuries, and we really won't have to deal with a situation where we've got any fatalities.
Yeah. Speaking of Montgomery County, if you have students in Montgomery County public schools, some of them have not gotten home yet, but that is not a problem. That's because they are being held at their schools. The buses are being held, and the schools we're talking about are Dunbar Elementary School, Georgia Washington Junior High School, and Pentlala Elementary School, all three schools here in Montgomery County. Students and buses being held at those schools for another 30 minutes to an hour, or at least until the most severe weather has passed. So if you are a parent waiting on your child to come home, don't worry, because your child is still at school. Kim and Bob.
Okay, and speaking of the rain, since we're talking about a flash flood warning here from Montgomery County, this is what we call rain vision, and we can actually plot out how much rain that we've seen around the area. Of course, I need to switch to the labels in here.
Now, this is not radar you're looking at, folks. You're looking at accumulated rainfall here.
And we're talking about as much as 3 inches in southern Lowndes County, almost 2 inches there in Montgomery County.
We will get back to you with more warnings, but right now, Kim and Bob have a guest in the studio from Wilcox County.
Yeah. And we have something new to show the viewers right now. First, too, Rich, let's take a look. This is a live picture from Enterprise High School, Bob.
Right. This is Enterprise High School, which is on the same property as the high school building, right behind the Hillcrest Elementary and right next door to the Hillcrest Baptist Church. We keep trying to give you that land area, and they just took the camera off the tripod there for a moment. Perhaps we'll be able to get a better idea of what's going on with the damage. I see at least somebody's moving the camera now. Hopefully they know they're on television. Yeah, I think that was Jeff's hand there. There we go. There's a helicopter from Fort Rucker there. That's one of the medevac helicopters that has been brought in. You can see a pair of them there. They're using the area next to the stadium. There's the football field in Enterprise, and the high school is just adjacent to that, up on the hill behind it there.
And just right there to your right, that's Hillcrest Baptist, where they were telling the parents to go and look for the children. But the pictures we showed you earlier of the devastation of the high school, that's the church to the right there, actually. You can see where they've gathered down there by the steps. And now devastating to see what's actually happened to the high school.
Look at the cars on the backside of the end zone there at the stadium. And here is really the automobiles flipped on their side. It's just absolute devastation in Enterprise, the emergency vehicles all around. Look at the utility poles there, the light poles that have been just snapped off, and pine trees in the background.
The roof damage there.
You can see that's the little entryway that you came in underneath to come into the stadium. It has collapsed. We're told that many of the sections of roof had literally fallen in at the high school there.
And students were injured. How badly hurt are they? We don't know yet, and that's the word we're waiting to get. And also if any teachers were injured as well, but we saw several people taken off on stretchers.
Yeah, look at the hole there in that roof and the decking below. I mean, that's pulled the decking off. You know, it's gone there, and you're down to the open space in that particular building. Really, really tough to look at pictures like this.
It really is. Reports of several injuries right now in Enterprise. We want to keep it that way. The one report of a fatality is out of Wilcox County right now, and we have the state representative from that area, Representative James Thomas, with us here right now. Representative Enterprise, we just appreciate hearing from them. And we have Brian Henry now joining us live.
Brian's still getting ready.
He's getting set. He's in Wilcox County. Brian, if you can hear us, tell us where you are right now.
He's in Enterprise.
Enterprise. Okay. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, Kim, we finally got to the scene down here, and it is unbelievable. Everybody that's been calling in this afternoon has done a phenomenal job describing what we are now seeing for the first time. What you're looking at is a school. There's no doubt whatsoever that school is gone, at least most of it. Even the football field. If Jeff, if you can pan to the left here, the goal post down here is gone. Look at all the trees. We still, as we just said, we just got here. We still don't have the official word just yet. How many people have been injured? How many students have been injured? Right across the way in front of the school, I see 3 helicopters. scores of state troopers. There is no question that that gentleman who called some time ago said the tornado was 800 yards wide. We believe him. This thing was a monster. It was powerful, and apparently showed no mercy to this high school down here. Now, joining me is a young man, and what is your name, please?
Robert Lee.
Robert. Now, did you actually see the tornado?
Yeah, we were standing at the hotel. We seen it when it was coming through. I mean, everybody stopped, lights went out, and we seen it just go behind Lowe's, and it just took a path straight down. I mean, it was huge. I mean,
we had one man who said it was at least 800 yards wide. Believe that?
Yeah, it was big. I mean, I've seen the tornado in Tuscaloosa, and it was 4, mm-hmm. and it was close. I mean, it was real.
I can only imagine what's going through their minds right now. We do have some viewer-submitted photos, some digital pictures. This is of a tornado damage in southeast Alabama, near the Abbeville area in Henry County, and here's more of it. It looks like a mobile home, and this is what you get into when you get even straight-line winds, much less a tornado. If you have any digital photos that you'd like to share, and we certainly appreciate folks going to the trouble of sending them to us, you can send the digital photos to news@WSFA.com. That's news@WSFA.com. And that looks like an 18-wheeler that's overturned, or at least a big truck.
It sure does. And we've been hearing more details about the damage we've told you about all day, about the injuries. And unfortunately, as we told you earlier, those injuries we've been talking about in Enterprise turned to 8 fatalities, and we still do not have official word if those all happened there at the high school, but that is where the most destruction we've been able to see so far, and what we've learned from the people in Enterprise, that's where it really hit there hard. Mark Bullock is also following things for us in the newsroom. Mark?
As of today.
All right, let's move to Crenshaw County now, where there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the central part of Crenshaw County. This is still 4:45 this afternoon, with a thunderstorm moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. And you're looking, that's the polygon. Again, Rob, the whole county is not colored in there, and we're looking at the area of concern, right?
That's right. Folks down to the south will not be affected by this storm. And when we say folks down the south, we're talking about places like Brantley, and down there toward Bullock as well, mm-hmm. and Merrill Mill also should not be affected by the storm, even just north of the Luverne area also. But there is signs of rotation with this. I'm going to turn the actual warning off itself and get a better look at the cell, and we'll even zoom in a little bit more. But we are seeing signs of rotation with the storm.
That is now escalated. The storm you're looking at is now a tornado warning. As we've been saying, all of these severe thunderstorm warnings should be treated like a tornado warning. We now have a tornado warning for the northern part of Crenshaw County until 5 o'clock. The thunderstorm that we're showing you now on Doppler 12 Storm Vision is capable of producing a tornado 7 miles south of Hornerville. I always have trouble with that. Or about 10 miles west of Luverne, moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. This upgrades the severe thunderstorm warning that we were just talking about that was previously in effect. So the tornado will be near Petrie and Highland Home by 4:35, mm-hmm. and that's about 3 minutes from now. So if you are near Petrie and Highland Home, take cover right now.
Also looks like Dublin as well by 4:46.
There you go. So the northern part of Crenshaw County. And then let's extrapolate that, Rob. That storm then would be heading for the southeastern part of Montgomery County, which has been hard hit this afternoon. Down in the Studio B, Bob and Kim have some new information. What do you got?
Okay, we have a spectacular photo we want to share with you guys. We actually have a picture of the tornado.
Look at that.
That was going into Enterprise. And
wow.
We're so grateful for whoever snapped that and sent it to us, this digital photo.
Amazing.
There it is. Now, we have no way of giving you any sort of measurement on this
we had heard things. We had heard Brian Henry talking about 800 yards wide. And that is certainly significant.
Didn't take cover. Brian?
Thanks, Kerry. Kerry Sanders starting us off in LaGrange, Georgia tonight. And for more on tonight's conditions, we go to a reporter who's been covering this aftermath on the ground. Brian Henry is with our NBC station in Montgomery, Alabama, WSFA TV. Brian, we've been watching your station on the air covering this all day. What's going on where you are tonight?
But Brian, this storm will not quit. Round 2 is on the way. As a matter of fact, there it is right over the horizon. You can probably see what used to be Enterprise High School. It does not exist anymore. The football stadium, about to celebrate its 50th year anniversary, does not exist anymore. We can tell you that 8 people were killed in Enterprise. We have not been able to confirm that out of that number if those students were students or school teachers. But clearly this storm has made a huge, devastating impact on the town of Enterprise. And Brian, you probably cannot see behind me, but we have several people walking through town literally with stunned looks on their faces. They cannot believe what's happened here this afternoon. This town is virtually a ghost town. A lot of people came here taking pictures, still cannot believe what has taken place here. As a matter of fact, we talked to one individual who, after the tornado came through, he literally, according to him, pulled 2 bodies out of the high school. A lot of stunned folks. It will take a long time for these people to bounce back, but they are determined they will be back.
All right. Brian Henry with the sad aftermath there in Enterprise, Alabama for us tonight. Thank you for that. And now we have a closer look at this huge weather system that's
reported, but we are telling you now that what we know from NBC News, the president, through FEMA, is using the number now 18 in the state of Alabama as opposed to 13, which we have heard most recently.
And we do know there's destruction as well in Birmingham and other areas of the state. We'll tell you more about that in just a moment. Right now we want to check in again with Rich Thomas for the very latest out of the storm center.
Yeah, Rob and I are worried about Coffee County. Rob, we've seen a number of developments in the last few minutes down in Coffee County. Talk about, for instance, the National Weather Service says that there's a little hook developing here, and you were just looking at a little while ago at what looked like a possible tornado signature bounded weak echo region there.
That's right, and that's one of the benefits here of a Doppler 12 storm vision. We can actually zoom in on the storm and actually dissect the storm. That's what we're going to do right now. And this is the great thing about this tool right here. Basically what we're doing is we're slicing the storm in half in the vertical. Right. In the vertical here. And as we go over this, you can see the intensity of the reflectivities from the radar itself. Obviously an indication of a very strong storm. But when we come a little closer here, you can see 2 areas highlighted, 2 yellow regions basically. And what you can see here is this is on the front side of the storm. And we've got basically some wrapping around the moisture, and as we make our way into the backside over here, you're seeing more. Now this area right here, this is what we call a weak echo region, and basically this is just the beginning stages of some possible rotation within the storm. Now there is nothing issued on this, but we're trying to warn in advance that we are seeing some signatures of a possible tornado within the storm itself, and Doppler 12 storm vision allowing us to do this. It's the same kind of tools the National Weather Service uses. Of course, we can't issue warnings ourselves. We don't want to do that by any means, but certainly just giving the heads up on what we're thinking about this storm right now. We're going to go back and look at the...
And down in Enterprise, let's take a listen to what the mayor has to say, and also the associate superintendent, we understand, will be speaking. They're in a makeshift setting in the school board building.
We're here to issue a press release on behalf of the City of Enterprise and the Enterprise school system. Today we're currently experiencing an emergency situation in the City of Enterprise at approximately 12:45 p.m. A tornado hit Enterprise. Public safety officials.
We have some amazing pictures now, Brian, to share with everyone. The first time we've seen the storm moving through downtown Enterprise.
This looks like amateur video. This is from our friends at WDHN television in Dothan, and apparently somebody just grabbed the camcorder and take a look at this. I mean, this is downtown Enterprise, and we think this was at the moment that the tornado was actually moving across town. And look at the flag. Look at the flag right there in the front there. And you can see the debris flying around as this storm moved over. Absolutely incredible.
And from the calls we got from folks who could get anywhere near downtown, they told us severe damage. One lady said she felt it was flattened. We don't know this for sure because of the blocked roads. We haven't been able to get down there to see for ourselves. This is, again, the first time we've seen anything from downtown Enterprise today.
Only one for concern for a tornado, but because of that situation, because the situation is beginning to stabilize, we are going to continue to watch it for you, but we are going to leave our continuous coverage, which began this morning. We have been on the air continuously. And so we're going to be throwing it back to Bob and Kim right now for kind of a perspective, and Kim and Bob for a perspective on this situation. Back to you guys.
Okay, Rich, thank you. We're going to wrap up this wall-to-wall coverage, as Rich told us, but he will remain right there in the storm center monitoring these storms. The warnings will stay on your screen, and if warranted, Rich will be back on in a moment's notice to let you know where we stand. But our hearts go out to all the communities that suffered severe devastation today, destruction, loss of life in Enterprise and Wilcox County. Small communities with big hearts, and tonight a big loss. And we'll be with you every step of the way as they begin the recovery process.
It's been a very tough day. We thank you so much for staying with us in our continuous coverage. And again, coming up tonight at 10 o'clock, we will have a complete wrap-up of this very, very stormy, turbulent, and sad day for the folks of South Alabama and West Alabama. Again, we're joining NBC Programming in Progress. We'll be back at 10 o'clock.